was allowing yourself to be fulfilled each day, to allow the seeds of plenty to be grown in your manifest destiny. That's my view of the world. I don't want to be just me. I wanted everyone else to have it. Why? Because it's our inherent birthright. No longer the great secrets held by the eye at the top of the pyramid. When you are just a heart without a brain, that's what you started as in the womb. And then your spiritual spark created a soul that came into that heart that was shared with the DNA of your mother and father, and the miracle of creation began. And now Great Mysteries plan is, how do you, that conscious being who's growing to 2 arms, 2 legs, a brain, loves and losses, how will Great Mystery interact with you? Will you adhere to karma? Will you follow something different? Will you come into this world in the great and wonderful way, with the great spiritual contract system that is universal wide? This time is where you allow your own light, your own intuition to fill your heart, to fill your body, to fill your mind. It is about nurturing it inside yourself, where you'll find your own way to create your own goal, your own way of saying healing is yours, whenever you choose it. And it's been that work that we all have to do in winter. And this is that time where we have to make the hard choices about what we allow in our life. You cannot let fear in your life.
The many rabbit holes that I've been investigating over the years. And I came back, just typed it in, and it was like, bam. You know, read the soul contracts, and it was just absolute resonating. And here I am, so it's amazing.
Very cool. You've heard me do readings before?
Yeah, I have.
So you kind of know how this works. You have the Akashic record of this world and 20,000 other worlds open to you.
Okay. It's kind of really exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time.
So what kind of questions do you have?
Can I just ask you a question?
Yep, go ahead. Ask a question.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't need to hear my this morning or anything like that.
Nope.
Dream or anything. Yep. Okay. Great. Okay. Well, so firstly, I'd just really like to know what there is to know about my particular genetic history, just to sort of get me plugged in and feeling into it.
Okay. Well, the first thing I have for you is, right away you have 2 family crests coming from your mother's side that are directly related to a breeding group that crossed between France and England in the 17 and 1600s. What it was is you would have a prince or a princess, and then there would be other people that were one degree of separation that were viable breeding partners so that they could have a proper lineage of collection there. And you have these family crests in your DNA lineage right now, and they're probably one of the main reasons you had such a powerful interaction with the contract revocations. Contract revocations are the first layer to creating the bubble and egg of reality around yourself. The next layer is where you define those contract revocations to begin to surgically remit from you karmic exchange by identifying that those crests, whether you know what they are or not, you are energetically saying in your signature frequency, you are not a match in any way, shape, or form, or any harmony to anything that is a breeding group. You are your own sovereign breeding individual.
Yeah.
This is one of the main things that's also been enforced in you from this DNA skin suit. You must breed, 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 breed. Therefore, your menstrual cycles, your whole lifetime, have been very, very difficult for you on the spiritual level.
Oh my God, this is... Oh my God, yeah, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, this is amazing.
These are your fundamental things that are going on. So the next layer of fundamental understanding here is, well, I have these things. Well, how do I change them? Well, changing them means changing the habit patterns that we have right now. And it's going to be, for you, adopting the a la carte belief system. Literally changing one belief system out for another until you find what works for the equation in the skin suit that you're in right now. Your mother and father, they love you very much in their own expression, but we must understand they too have a family crest, and their mother before them has a family crest, and their mother before them all the way back to the 1700s. So it's a very profound family crest. So being born into that means you've been born into it before. So for you to get out of it, you must acknowledge the other dimensions and time streams and begin to use particular words through written or artistic form that indicate to all other forms of perception reality that are your other versions of yourself that you are the apex of the hierarchical order at this moment in time, that they can no longer add debt to you and deep in the future, and you can no longer give debt to them deep in the past. There is only a zero exchange between the two of you, so you can be conscious observers of each other's, but not conscious influencers of each other.
Yeah, okay. I'm kind of getting it. When you say profound family crest, what does that actually mean? Powerful.
Well, let's just say you have what we have an expression today as the Cabal, the Illuminati, the Stonemasons, the Freemasons, the Hims and the Hers, and the so on and so forth. You would have been one of them at the top level, which was have been a breeder, meaning your whole purpose of your family is to stay around those people in the upper times, and if they need a skin suit to breed with, you're one of their selections and you have no choice. You have that child, or you are that male donor, and you get the benefits of being in that time, but as soon as you die, your skin suit's no longer needed, nor is your soul, because the projection of power is about the skin suit only. And who controls the skin suit?
Well, this is why I have this so much struggle, and I've also got rhesus negative blood as well.
Yep. This is exactly what you are suffering from. Is this light...
Such ups and downs with my health and everything. To get my health, really okay. It's just been non-stop, up and down.
Mm-hmm. So how about I do some I am presence work with you? We'll just kind of repeat after me, and what I'm going to do is craft something that your voice can say regularly out loud that really gets at to the heart of the family crest and to the giving of the way of the birthing power.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, so just repeat after me. I, in the ever-present moment,
I, in the ever-present moment,
choose to form a spiritual cord of equity.
Choose to form a spiritual cord of equity.
I summon all of my earth ancestors.
I summon all of my earth ancestors.
Who are in union and communion with Earth Mother.
Who are in union and communion with Earth Mother.
I summon all of my off-world brothers and sisters.
I summon all of my off-world brothers and sisters
who are also here for unity.
who are also here for unity.
I summon Earth Mother
I summon Earth Mother
and all her elemental entities
and all her elemental entities
in alignment with unity consciousness.
in alignment with unity consciousness.
I ask them all to bear sacred neutral witness.
I ask them all to bear sacred unity witness,
Sacred neutral witness.
sacred neutral witness.
So as I break contracts, vows, and agreements,
So you're cracking up there.
as I break contracts, vows, and agreements
As I break contracts, vows, and agreements
with the hierarchical order,
with the hierarchical order,
I say unto you now,
I say unto you now,
I am a sovereign being in the seat of my heart.
I am a sovereign being in the seed of my heart.
I no longer accept debt from ancestors.
I no longer accept debt from ancestors.
All debt that is held within me,
All debt that is held within me,
I return to the spiritual court of equity.
I return to the spiritual court of equity.
So all ancestors in union and communion
So all ancestors in union and communion
are a part of this expression
are a part of this expression
and resolution.
and resolution.
At this moment in time,
At this moment in time,
I break all contracts, vows, and agreements
I break all contracts, vows, and agreements
with all Dreamtime societies
with all Dreamtime societies
that use domination and control,
that use domination and control,
consumerism and materialism,
consumerism and materialism,
sexism and bigotry,
sexism and bigotry,
and all other isms that take away from the natural sacred feminine.
and all other isms that take away from the natural sacred feminine.
I am a sacred feminine,
I am a sacred feminine,
born through the woman of the sacred feminine.
born through the woman of the sacred feminine.
Within this sacred birthing order,
Within this sacred birthing order,
I bring my unity mind,
I bring my unity mind,
my unity heart,
my unity heart,
my unity roots into this universe,
my unity roots into this universe,
into this I am presence.
into this I am presence.
So all forms of myself,
So all forms of myself,
all shadow shards of myself,
all shadow shards of myself,
now get this message.
now get this message.
I am no longer a being of karma.
I am no longer a being of karma.
I am no longer a being of ancestral karma.
I am no longer a being of ancestral karma.
All debt that you have projected at me
All debt that you have projected at me
is now returned to you in sacred format,
is now returned to you in sacred format,
so you may heal on your own,
so you may heal on your own.
heal on your own.
Heal on your own.
I have my eternal love for you
I have my eternal love for you
as an unentangled observer.
as an unentangled observer.
At this moment in time,
At this moment in time,
we can no longer coexist.
we can no longer coexist.
All family crests
All family crests
that are demanding the way I give birth,
that what?
that are demanding the way I give birth,
That are demanding the way I give birth.
I break all contracts, vows, and agreements with you
I break all contracts, vows, and agreements with you.
in all dimensions, time streams, galaxies, and universes.
In all dimensions, time streams, galaxies, and universes.
I return myself to the 0-point immigration status on Earth.
I return myself to the 0-point immigration. Sorry. I return myself to the
0 point of immigration status to Earth.
0 point immigration status to Earth.
I am a being completely unentangled with Earth
I am a being completely unentangled with Earth
and all family crests
and all family crests
that try to reach out beyond this point
that try to reach out beyond this point
to cause havoc in other worlds.
to cause havoc in other worlds.
I return myself to my point of galactic immigration status.
I return myself to the point of galactic immigration status,
And I delete all perceptions
and I delete all perceptions
of family crests at the galactic level,
of family crests at the galactic level,
demanding the way I breed.
demanding the way I breathe.
I return myself to the universal immigration status.
I return myself to the universal immigration status,
As if I've never experienced this universe.
as if I've never experienced this universe.
And I permanently delete
And I permanently delete
anything that has come from family crests this far.
anything that has come from family crests this far.
I am a universal source,
I am a universal source,
manifest in these two legs.
manifest in these two legs.
I am sovereignty incarnate,
I am sovereignty incarnate.
and so it is. That was very powerful.
I'm sorry.
Just let it in. Just let it in. Just let it in. This is millions of years. It isn't yours. I'm just going to speak to you in light language for a minute. This is going to help you get back. Wata, nataka, chamuke, chatata, watachi, chete chamaka, chanata hata, wawachata, chamoma, kat, chahuke kak, chanama, chena ha, chabuke kechina, shamoka, chanete, chawote, chaka, chamanana chaka, shamone, hun chinkana, chana chingmo, wanchana jinga, simama jimahate, chakatama, chapota. Alright, just come back into your body. This is just a gigantic release of energy for you. We have now erased for you all hereditary programming at the universal scale. Okay?
Oh God, thank you.
You're that free right now. And you must begin to remind yourself each day you're that free. 5 years ago, I would have not been able to do that live on air. That's how far our world has come.
Oh God, I've had so much problems, Andrew, with like horrible, attacks, and even when I would start saying the soul revocations, I'd be sick, and just been so difficult over, my life, like how much, like my husband had to help me from just keep constantly getting my own energy back.
Yeah.
Every time I come up, something kind of drags me down.
That's right, because you had to give birth to a whole bunch of souls you never wanted to give birth to that just became evil people and gave you all of their debt. That's the unfortunate side of being a breeder. Okay? And we erased that signature frequency from you. Okay? We got to the core of it. Now you have to begin to enforce that sovereignty. You are that sovereign incarnate being now.
Okay.
Okay?
So when because I wanted to have a second child, but it always felt like really wrong. And I had like a hemorrhage and had to go into hospital and, have blood transfusion, all sorts of things. And now I've stopped doing all my hot sweats and hot flushes through my diet, changing it, lots of different things. So if I align myself, now to this true sovereignty, I can open up now to what is actually truly right for me.
Absolutely. And you're going to discover memories that beings have been sharing with you since you were about 6 years old. There was an incident right when you were 6 years old that I'll just simply say you could have made a different choice, but there wasn't a conscious sacred expression in your area. There wasn't a proper religion that could have handled the types of beings that were going to be teaching you something. So what they did is they held things in residual image, which is, these are like ancestral visitations when a being would come and visit you, and you know at the heart space core level that you've known this being for millions of years, no matter what the reality tells you. And those beings have shared hundreds of years of conversations with you that are now suspended in your memories. And there's going to be a person or a place or a thing that begins to trigger you about some of these memories, and you're going to discover that you have skills in metalworking, you have an understanding of quantum theory, you have an understanding of energy healing that you had never done this lifetime. But you'll realize that there was a moment of conversation that's suspended in time when you were 8 years old that happened. You actually had these advanced conversations with these advanced teachers, and it is waiting in suspension for you once you get over the having to give birth to the system of domination and control and understand you did what you did so there could be an end. Nothing you did is in vain. There's millions and millions of out there that are in a similar situation with you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
By sharing your story, you're spreading right now to millions of others that are in the same feeling as you. And now they have a different understanding. And you just have to figure out how do you bring it to your out loud voice so your body begins to feel what sovereignty really is.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm just getting blown away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've always suspected that this would be the case for me. When I heard the program where you were talking about rhesus negative blood, I had that whole, I was crying as soon as I heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
And to get the confirmation it's amazing, but also quite challenging to receive as well.
Okay. I've got something else that's coming up. Now, this is part of a past life expression that's beginning to manifest in you now. How good of a swimmer are you?
Okay, not amazing. Pretty good. I go swimming to the river pretty regularly.
Okay. When's the last time you were swimming?
About 2 months ago.
Okay. Well, the reason why is there is a very, very intense connection that you have, we'll just call it, to ocean life and river life, things that are fin-based. Okay. You lived in the North Atlantic, the South Pacific. You were fish in many different schools of fish on many different realities and different layers, and you got really good at it. And when you are in the water and you happen to notice that there are fish around you, is where you will have a DNA light body skin suit skill activation where you can begin to be aware and connect into the fish and their sensory systems and they can each individually give you streams of information that you can begin to translate into imagery or an understanding of what the water is being programmed. And through those fish and their gills, you can begin to program the water to be pure and not harm the fish, and literally alter the nature of pollution in an area just by connecting in unity mind to the fish and allowing your heart to express the removal of pollution in unity with the fish without harming to the fish or yourself.
Oh, it's amazing, because, you know, me and my daughter went down to the river, you know, to you know, imagine the waters changing together, and we did a little ceremony together, so that feels incredible.
Mm-hmm. So what other kind of questions, do you have?
Well, oh gosh, I think I've got a lot of them are sort of broken out at the moment. I mean, I was wanting to ask quite a few around, you know, my, you know, having another child and about my blood and that. But our main desire, as you know, me, my husband, my daughter, is to create community, and it's been a real struggle. We've had all sorts of things that have come in the way of it over the years, and we've just been trusting, you know, that it's just not the right time. And that, but it really feels like that's what we've come here to do.
Are you talking about assembling communal living structures, or are you talking people just, you know, suddenly getting a piece of land and trying to live together?
Well, we've, you know, all sorts of different ways, really. My husband's the builder, and we've been doing it together. We've been working with people on sort of like an emotional, spiritual level, but there's been sort of like quite a lot of kind of full-on dramas that have just like really.
It's because you have the wrong people.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so it feels like all of a sudden.
All right, so the answer is, if you're intending to build a community and you want to know how to separate the scam artists and the fake people away from that, is you set something up that is a temporary community that is just a ceremony site. Why? Because you're going to have a spiritual expression there, and if you can't resolve your spiritual expressions just by putting a campsite together and getting together twice a week to have a fire and express who you are, you're never going to be able to build together, are you?
Exactly, and that's exactly what we've come to. You know, it's like all we want to do is just, you know, do the way we do sacred ceremony, and who's attracted to it. That's it. We've been coming at it from all sorts of different angles, and yeah, so we've just decided, you know, that this is, you know, just starting with us basically. Well,
that things you still need a comrades of people. You still need people to assist you, because once you're on a land and you start to give offerings and start to open portals and do healings there and do all that other stuff, it is a lot of work. And you need people that are willing to be assistants. And this is a whole new layer of teaching where you can be incredible. People have heard me talk about telling your story to the fire. If you take that on a bigger scale, let's say you have a 100-acre property. You have 4 corners to that property where you have to have 4 individual fires. You have a center of that property, and then you have where any homes or any building structures are, and you're supposed to have a fire each and every place that you're going to consciously interact with when you're building. Well, that's a lot of stuff, and you need people to be assistants for that, because each area, each fire is a different filter of the ancestral energies. So when you're going from point to point during bigger ceremonies, what is happening? You are allowing the colors of one area and the other area to separate, so you go into the new bubble of experience and have a deeper healing from that land. Instead of dumping all of your garbage in one fire, you're spreading it amongst 4.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Sorry, so what was that?
So you got a last question here?
Yeah, my husband said, how important it is us to be here in Devon? Because we've been thinking of Ireland, but you know, and we know that we've been here before in Devon.
I'll answer that this way: Devon is very short-lived for you.
Okay.
But you have to put into Devon that you want to go, and you need to give ancestral energies to it. I would actually say for you to cook something that's equivalent of like a nice dinner meal for one person and begin to offer that to the land every couple days, or discover higher energy frequency places on the outside of where you live where it's not lots of streets and cities and stuff, and begin giving, let's say, like you make a paper airplane and you go and fly it in an area, or you leave it in an area, or another place you write a poem and you go put it under a rock somewhere else, and you begin to put your signature frequency as conscious application to the sacred ancestors. And then you start putting the message out, Devon, it's time for me to go. I want the omen, I want the message clearly understood without ancestral karma guiding me to some place that may not be within my free will.
Yeah, that feels amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. I feel pretty, I'm really blown away. I'm quite sort of shaky, so...
Get out and get some sunlight, darling. That's what you need after moments like you just need to get the light on your body so that the light can begin to heal your light frequency. You have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye. Goodbye.
Roll and go.
Welcome everyone to a special series by the fire. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to take apart the sacred geometry dream world with fire. Simple fire. Now, I don't encourage anyone to be a pyromaniac in any way, shape, or form. It's to understand the transformative power of fire. So what I'd like for you to think about is to go to a local hardware store or any place that sells birthday candles, those little candles that are about that big, and understand that in there is about 8 minutes of fire. 8 minutes of spark. And you live in an area that may have 40 or 50 smart meters, may have sacred geometry buildings around it, or may have objects and infrastructure that just hold dense energy. With a simple birthday candle that has been empowered with your intention to diffuse sacred geometry and bring unity consciousness in, you have a spark of fire in a moment that creates no-time energy. So I'm going to give you a verbal, out-loud expression of what you can say to your groups of candles multiple times before you go to use them. Greetings, friend candle, that represents in this matrix idea that of a day of birth. I am continuing your process of birth, but I am adding the intention to you that I will be bringing you in a moment of future presence to an area of dense energy that may have sacred geometry buildings or concepts or ancestral karmas attached to it. And my intention is for the flame that you burn in the fraud time that you exist as a burning wax of a candle. I am bringing you all the moments of unity consciousness that I have dreamed of. I am bringing you all of the abundance of nature so no children ever has to go without shoes or food. I bring to you no GMO food. I bring to you no chemtrails. I bring to you the flames of purity. I ask that this fire bring sacred, pathogenic warmth to all spirits that are trapped in the sacred geometry system, so that they may once again see the element of fire and seek the Earth Mother so that they can exit the sacred geometry system and find their true ancestors and no longer be trapped by false light. I bring to you this sacred moment of my heart space, friend candles, that I use in a future moment, so that we can have an agenda, a plan, a strategy, so we can take apart sacred geometry piece by piece and replace each piece with the unity consciousness of all species interacting in equal co-creation. Those are the types of words you can give objects that burn fire. Thank you.